Do not. When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die. If thou dost not speak to one the wicked from his way, that wicked man shall die in his iniquity. But his blood will I require at thine hand. 9. Nevertheless, if thou warn the wicked of his way to turn from it, if he do not turn from his way, he shall die in his iniquity. But thou hast delivered thy soul.
The world is in the coma, deep in spiritual sleep. Jacob's trouble winks at all of his curious sheep. We being led to our slaughter, see our blood in the streets. Hear mothers crying out or drying tears in the sheets. It's not a complicated concept, together we rise it. Ages against the nation, infiltrating divide. Time's getting shorter, new world order is down. Let's be prepared to hit the wilderness when boots hit the ground. Cause they ain't checking for your doctrine, your camp, or who you with. Scratch the itch where they implanted your chip. I'm peeping secrets now revealed through prophetic in nature. Wish I could tell you all is well, instead of warning the danger. Heed the message from the prophet, so knock it, it's not a joke. Think it's a game if it's somebody you know, just got smoke. Hey, here's your warning today. Martial law and Armageddon, and it's headed our way.
Now as I think about the coming of Yasha, I get excited. And the glory of the kingdom to come, it keeps me right. I'm a prophet in this day and age, warning my people. In the world that's corrupt and imbalanced, no way we equal. Now here's the sequel to the days of Noah. The world is so cold, but it's about to get colder. Some might ask how you know. I tell them Oculus written. Read that book of Isaiah on what's to come and get with it. Get with what? Man, it's true because we headed to judgment. In your mind, you're gonna say that the calm said it was coming. I'd rather be safe than sorry. These laws and commandments, it ain't tedious for me. So Pastor, you can say that. Keep spinning your wheels for the fortune Pat say Jack. Our rules don't play that. We law-keepers, we know in the end game. Pick one. Is it eternal life or eternal flame?
Precept on precept, verse after verse. We here to warn Israel. Why they being cursed? Deuteronomy first. Breaking down one time. No gene search. It's for a wonder and a sign. What they waiting on? Yeshua's coming back. And he ain't gon' play. But first the sky gon' crack. When you attack with the prophecies. Pray and watch constantly. The kingdom's for a few, man. That's a small quantity. The harvest is plenty. But the laborers are few. Don't get caught with your pants down. When Yeshua slide through. Get your mind right. Use a real Hebrew. Come and get that all white with fringes with water blue. Romans 12 and 2. Understand this what we forget about. Renewing our minds. Everything we learn, we zap it out. We straight up off the hood, brewed up, no doubt. All credits to the Most High. We bang the word out.
We bang the word out. Keeping it cracking, making it happen, we get active. Strike them like matches with all that yapping. What are you talking about? Nah, don't explain, just pull scripture. You ain't got that. Then holler back soon as you get them, cause that's all we going off of. No hard feelings or lost love. That doctrine is to and fro, and I ain't getting tossed up. Solid as a brick, yes. Truth gon' stick best. Rubbing these spots and blemishes out. Windex, the only way to get rid of dirt is just to get wet. So hop off in this water and follow in his footsteps. You on the wrong path right now. You need a bath right now. Don't even add up. You doing bad math right now. In the
got it?
Said need a bath right now.
Well, this is Real Talk 101. Despite what you may have seen before, we changed the scenery a little bit. It's due to the present conditions outside and to the way we feeling today. We're going to have a very cavalier and open conversation. We've had them before, but never in this format. Most High is leading me to do so today, so we're going to see what happens. Every other show is a miracle in my mind, so this will be no different. Bruh,
What's up?
man, it's been a wonderful weekend. I want to start off just by testifying, man, and just when the Most High knows me, and I know we've had many conversations over the phone about several things, man, but the specific way he knows me, man, he always gauges me from a distance.
Right.
He's there close, but he also gauges me from a distance. The fact that he knows my time and knows every step that I'm going to take per day that I'm alive, it blows my mind. The reason why I say that is going into this weekend, I had a little bit of a downer as far as faith being low.
Mm-hmm.
I know we don't speak about it that much. We believe in the truth. We believe in searching the scriptures. We believe that the Ruach will lead us into all truth. But the faith that accompanies our everyday life, I began neglecting that. Mm-hmm. So the small things that used to happen to me during the day, I wouldn't thank the Most High about as usually as I would. Remember back in the day, I used to talk about the fact that I would pray all throughout the day.
Right.
I'd have been slipping. if I'm not transparent, I can't, even be sitting right here. This is real talk. It'd have been slipping. And the fact that he still wants to conversate with me on a daily basis amongst the little things that happen during my day blows my mind. Yes, I can pray to him in the morning and in the evening like I'm supposed to. But during the day, he wants conversation too.
Right.
He just doesn't want to holler at me in the morning and the evening. So I was going into this weekend, man, and I got words of life spoken to me by 3 separate females, all of which I did not know were going to speak a word of life over me and really lift my spirits. The first was Kedra. Spoke to me about the fact that I have doubts about myself so much so that it may affect my future fatherhood. Because the Most High already told me I got something in store for you in that area. Because me and myself, I'm 50-50 with it. I don't know if I should. I don't believe that I deserve to be. She spoke life in that area. Second person was Adrian.
Oh, you talked to Adrian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sat down, spoke to her. She asked how, was doing, how the ministry was doing. I gave her as much as a summary as I could.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Had a good conversation.
That's what's up.
Spoke life over me as well. God bless both of them. And then the third, probably the most powerful, my sister, Nikki Taylor.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Nikki.
I'm about to say.
Nikki's my sister, man.
Yeah.
I see her as she was put here on this earth to be my sister.
Hey, that's what's up.
And she'll lean on us like nobody else can. She'll speak to us in a word of correction, and we will allow her to speak.
That's
because
true.
she comes with the same energy that we come with, especially when we get touched.
That's
you
true.
know what I'm saying? So yesterday, she spoke to me in that area of faith and gave me things to consider this week as far as affirmation, declaration, and knowing about who I truly am and who I belong to. If we say we are of the tribe of Israel, if we say we are of the seed of Jacob, the seed of Abraham, then in us, resides in us, the chosen marker that Yah has put upon all his people, it resides in us. It's through our bloodline. It's in our blood. So because I know that, I have to start walking more in faith. There will be no more questions of, like, for instance, the money that we need for the rest of the project. Being like, man, well, we might get that at this point in time. I prayed about it, but even when I bring it up in my mind or verbally, it needs to be a declaration now because the Most High is going to take care of it. I trust him.
Right.
And he's shown me little bits and pieces of why this is so important. When I was out of town about a month ago, I don't think I've been back in the studio since I've been out of town. I was in Canada, and the weather report for the last 2 days I was there was going to be nothing but rain. And I prayed to the Most High in his name, and I said, look, I know this is a small thing, but I want you to push the rain back. The weather's been perfect since I've been here. And I have more things that I want to do outside. I want to go out. I want to, be in the community, but I don't want it to rain. So if you could just push the rain back for me. I know it's a small thing, but I'm asking you in your name. You caused the sun to stand still until Israel finished whooping behind on the battlefield.
Right.
You caused the sun to go backward.
True.
Because of a king who was actually in error at the time. He prayed. You know what I'm saying? And so when Hezekiah. So when I'm thinking about these things, I just prayed for him to move the rain back. Not only did he remove the rain that entire next day, it didn't rain till the next day afternoon. So the second day, and by that time I had done everything. It was right when I came back to my apartment, doing the last thing I wanted to do. I went out to the community. I went to a festival that they had, and it was outside. Everything was nice. I came back, and then it started raining.
Right.
And I was in for the evening, and just by that alone, my faith went up a tick just to pray in his name and declare and believe with no wavering of heart and spirit. And I think the biggest thing that gets in my way most of the time is the fact that I would doubt myself so much because I know what I've done. Now, I know that's the battle, the ebb and flow. I know I'm covered by the blood. I know Yeshua came and died for my sins, and I know I'm clean. But it's always the devil's agenda, since we expose him, to constantly, in any given point, in every given opportunity, to lay on us exactly who we are, to remind us what trash we are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so this weekend was a tremendous blessing for me. I know I, went around, but it needs all that because I need people to understand the thoughts that we have to ourselves that nobody else thinks about, that we think about ourselves in a negative form. Think like somebody called it stinking thinking. I heard of that. That really plays a part in our faith. I'm not talking about just every day what you can accomplish, what you cannot accomplish. I'm talking about even building up a wall so that if you did meet the Most High, you still won't trust him because you're just in a state of doubt and negativity all the time. So it's like Yes, I know who Yah is, or I know who God is, I profess to know. I serve him, I read his word, but the connection ain't there. You don't know who he really is to you. After he paints a sunset sky for me after a rainfall, I got video footage on my phone. It rained out there, and then afterwards he painted like a sunset sky and then put a double rainbow. He's like, just look at what I can do. And this is just in this area of the earth.
Yeah.
This is in Canada right now. In Australia, it looks something completely different. But my handiwork is there as well. And I'm just like, why in the world can't we grasp this revelation? It's not even a revelation. It's just a fact. Why cannot we grasp this fact all the time? Why do our circumstances seem to box our minds in so much we can only see what's directly in front of us?
We humans. We humans. We have limited understanding. Mm-hmm. You know, we his ways aren't our ways. Mm-hmm. His thoughts aren't our. You know, he's different. His methodology is different. And he said some interesting stuff, man. He was like, you don't always pray in the morning, the evening, whatever the case may be. You know, we had a conversation a while ago, a few years ago. I told you it's going to get to a point where it's our conversations are like prayers. You know what I'm saying? Just because we can speak at something, it's as if it was a prayer. See, you may not have to hit your knees necessarily, but I know for a fact you communicate with the Most High throughout the day. It ain't always, dear God, Yah, Father. Man, Most High, what I'm going to do in this situation? You praying. I need your help with this. How am I going to figure this program out? Show me how to do this right here. You communicating. You're supposed to pray without ceasing. That just means stay in communication. Constantly be in communication. I know you're constantly in communication, especially if something don't look right. Or especially if something don't look right. That don't mean, what, you going to go around the corner and hit your knee? I know people that do it. And I'm not saying anything wrong with every time the situation presents itself, go somewhere in a corner and pray. And all praise to the Most High if you do that. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to say anything out loud. You don't have to show any type of action to show that you're communicating with the Father in your mind. And that's what confuses the enemy. If you don't know what you're doing, you can just be sitting there looking straight.
That's right.
The whole time you're talking to the Father, and the Father's telling you exactly what's about to happen.
You can't read your thoughts.
Can't read your thoughts. He can put thoughts in your head, but he can't read your thoughts. But if you show forth action, because he knows the race so well, tendencies. If he puts something in your mind and you react a certain way, he's thinking about what I put in his head.
Yeah.
Because your reaction shows it. You give yourself away. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't what the Most High showed me something this morning. The promise brings about persecution. The promise brings about persecution. Persecution brings about perseverance. Perseverance brings about like a priestly authority, which ultimately belongs to the Most High. He made a promise to Abraham and his seed. We're children of that promise. He promised us persecution.
He did.
You know, in this world you will have tribulation, but that comes with being a child of the promise, which brings about perseverance. If you're not persecuted, you don't get a chance to go through nothing. How you going to persevere? Perseverance
priestly.
Gives way to hope.
Oh,
folks drowning in their sins throw that testimony rope. So that perseverance, it plays dual roles. Perseverance.
Yeah.
But ultimately, through perseverance, you become prosperous. You become prepared. You become once you make it through that perseverance stage, you got the promise. You got the promise. You got the persecution. You got the perseverance, and then you got the priestly authority that comes along with, like as a reward of you persevering.
Right.
But we know that belongs to the Most High.
He bestows it. Right.
He bestows it, which is going to ultimately make us that much more powerful because we're not going to let pride kick in and make us feel like, because I went through this, because I know that, because he picked me, like Meechie say, pride, prejudice, contempt. You know what I'm saying? Persecution, because you're of the promise, could bring about pride. You might be like, you know what? Shoot.
There's some people that think like that.
I'm a child of the promise, so that's why I'm going through this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you're not persevering. You're just in it because you're a child of the promise. So you're on twofold. But to make it through it, with understanding, then you get that priestly authority where your opinion is revered. It's like a person wants to hear what you got to say now because you've of the promise, and you've been persecuted, and you've persevered through that, and now you're coming into that priestly authority where, and I don't want to ask you nothing. I don't have to ask you anything, and I don't need you to stamp what I'm saying. You're a child of the promise just like I am. You've been persecuted just like me. We're persevering at the same time, but on different levels. We both have priestly authority. Yours is in your arena, and mine is in mine.
That priestly authority is something significant because what does a priest do? They intercede and they commune with the Most High for other people.
For other people. In authority, though.
In authority. Oh, whoa. That changes. That changes the temperature of that. I like that.
Because you got priests in other places just playing games with it.
Right. Yeah, they're fooling
Effing the
around.
title over. You know what I'm saying? Just playing with it. Yeah. The Most High had me of a mindset. And I say the Most High had me of a mindset. I woke up the other morning. And your grandfather's words, man, when that decree go forth, let he who is unjust remain unjust still, that he was just, filthy. I was like, dang, Joe, by definition, am I righteous or am I filthy? I had to look up the two. I fit more into the filthy category.
Oh, we all do.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, dang, man, am I filthy? Like, I'm filthy. Our righteousness is as filthy rags. So that's like a double negative?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Righteousness is filthy.
So let he who is...
You ain't going to win.
You got to win. But the Most High understands. He understands that our righteousness is as filthy rags. And who is it? Noah was a just man. Noah was perfect in his generation. That's pre-flood. So them niggas was off the chain.
They were wild.
So if Noah just only drank 3 days a week as opposed to 7, he's a righteous man. Because everybody else was getting dusted. I'm not saying, this is alcoholic talk. But if he only did what he did, if everybody else did it every day and he only did it 2 days, he showed himself to be more upright than everybody else. It ain't that he never did nothing. We so busy stuck on the fact that, if you do this, you do that. Oh, Most High can't do nothing with you. Well, tell that to everybody in the scriptures that he chose to use.
Pretty much.
Because everybody he chose to use had some type of issue.
Yeah, they was flawed.
So he didn't use the perfect ones or the ones that thought they should be being used. He took them down.
If he did use the perfect ones, how hard would it be for us? Because it's easy to point and be like, I can't do none of that. That dude was rich and perfect in all his ways. I could do
Or a
nothing.
king.
Or a king.
Look at David.
Yeah.
But see, Solomon was born in the royalty. David wasn't. David was a shepherd. He didn't know that. He didn't know that, who came and anointed him? Samuel? He didn't know. And Samuel tried to get all his brothers. Look at these big scrapping young woodsman-looking guys. Man, there's got to be this. No. And Most High like, nah, it ain't him.
He ain't even here.
He's like, man, you got any more sons?
Yeah.
I got one.
All right.
He out there, playing his harp or something, out there with the sheep. He in the field. He be tripping. He's a daydreamer. You know what I'm saying? He's
a poet.
He's a poet. He writes sermonic flow.
You say?
So, he said, go get him. So he said, you the one. You the one. Let me pour this oil on you, Slim. And through that bloodline, Yahweh came. So, did I say that right?
From the seed of David?
So that means David must have been of the tribe of Judah.
He was a Benjamite.
David was a Benjamite.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken.
We gotta do something. I gotta look into that because
I was just reading that yesterday.
I thought it was a Benjamite too.
Yeah, I was just reading that yesterday. That's why.
But it was not. It was said that David was going to always have somebody on the throne.
Somebody from his
from his lineage. That could go.
The covenant that the Most High made with David, just for the fact that he was his man, after David passed away, when he went to sleep, he was like, because of the strength of your father, of your grandfather, I'm gonna keep this thing intact because of my servant David. That I envy that more than anything else. And I know you ain't supposed to envy, but it's like I want that. I want the Most High to be able to say of me when I'm gone, however long time he's outside of time. So whenever I'm gone, I'm just gone. He gonna bring me back. Period. I want that to be said of me. Because of my man Brad, I'm going to hold you down, you down, you down, and you down. That's a heritage to pass on. We got people slaving away to get earthly wealth for their kids. But if I can get a perpetual blessing on my family, and I know my grandfather did that.
He's doing it now.
Yeah.
He's laying a foundation with you now, bruh, that's going to shift your family's trajectory.
Yeah, I believe it. I don't mean to cut you off, but that actually reminded me of what I started this thing off to say, my biggest testimony. My mom called me yesterday. Said she's searching. She's trying to replace the Lord with the name.
Mm-hmm.
She's praying for wisdom and insight. She's diligently doing, and I can hear in her voice the agitation, the beginning of agitation, because I know the sound. Like come on, this keeps confusion. That the walls of defenses are breaking down. They falling, but come on now. But it's coming through, man. And my prayer request is that all the light that she can get when she's supposed to get it, let it happen, because it's gradual. And I told her that on the phone this morning. I was like, it's gradual, but it's coming. You seek, then you shall find. I challenged her. And this is going to be my challenge perpetually going forward. If I'm ever met with this argument about what name is significant and what isn't. 7-day challenge. For the first 3 days, I want you to pray in the name of Jesus. See what happens. And on that 4th day, you're going to ask for something to happen. Whether the Most High grants it or not, we're going to see. But after that, the next 3 days, I want you to pray in the actual name that it was. Yeshua.
I would go as far as to add something to that challenge.
Go ahead.
Pray in your mind. Pray in your mind.
Oh, yeah.
Don't pray out loud.
Yeah.
Because we don't want any confusion.
Well,
I'm not saying don't
no,
pray
no,
out loud.
I like that.
But for that specific thing,
Yeah.
that you're challenging one name as opposed to the other with, keep that to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So only the Most High knows.
So only he knows.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What, who is it, my man, Elijah? Man, where your God at? He on vacation? Was it Elijah, right?
Yeah, it was.
Man, pray loud and cut yourself, dance around.
He was teasing him. Maybe he's asleep.
Maybe he's asleep.
Maybe he's sleeping.
Pray louder. Nah, don't let it be known. Don't let it be known, but find something specific.
Find something specific that you know only he can change.
Only he can change.
And believe he can do it, too. That's the other thing. Believe he can do it.
See, I would caution. This is for the seekers. This is for people that's seriously trying to get an understanding. This isn't just a what do you say? A plank. What do you say? A plank, challenge to see how long you can plank or whatever.
Right,
like how they put that stuff on social media and all that whatever stuff, man. Push up challenge on it. Nah, man. It ain't like that.
It ain't no fad. It's not for going viral.
It's leveling up in your mind.
Yeah.
It's about getting your mind stronger, not necessarily your arms or your back necessarily.
The
but
most important muscle that you got.
Most important muscle you got. And the Most High wants us to seek him by name. He wants us to seek his face, not just the face of a God.
Right.
Or the face of a professed deity. Or not even going to say a professed deity, but something we've been told is a deity. It's so much.
This is what I'm excited about with the challenge. I believe, because this is what he did with me, that he will come through that much more and not only fulfill what you're asking for, but abundantly do, like blow your expectations apart because you're doing it in his name. And he wants to show you why that is significant.
I'm a testimony. I'm a testimony. The proof is outside.
Yeah, the truck.
It's parked right over there.
Right.
And I would have, look, man, I would have never asked, real talk, I would have never asked Jesus for a truck like that. Because I didn't feel like I deserved a truck like that.
Man,
I
just what I let out with.
But that was my real feeling.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? Okay, you blessed me with this
this monster.
No.
Oh, the
I'm
one.
like, yeah, the previous one.
Before.
You blessed me. You blessed me with this '98
right.
F-150, with about 200,000 miles on it. Ain't got no locks because it kept getting broken into. Ain't got no ignition, but I know how to start a junk with a screwdriver. Thank you, thank you, Lord. People was happy because the lock, the ministry, got some money together so it could be paid for,
right.
Overpaid by about $800. But I was like, I got a truck. Leaking transmission. Broke down over as soon as I left the Dago auction. Mercy. But I'm like, you know what? It's all good. I got the truck.
You got a truck.
I got the truck. Couldn't do nothing.
So, hold on. I got to pause you right there. I want people to echo their minds the short-term thank you that's really not grateful at all. Like what he said, that's settling, man.
But check the mood, though. I was on the... I'm not talking about because I done got blessings in the name of Jesus. Don't get it twisted.
Yep.
You dig what I'm saying? My life has been spared by speaking in the name of Jesus because I didn't know no better. But this was on the crux of me transitioning. And when I got this info, most I was like, ask me for that truck again. And I'm talking about within 3 months, bro.
Within
3 months, Slim. And I'm like, I got 2 trucks. What I'm gonna do at 3? I'm struggling trying to get these 2 on the road. He said, man, no, just man, I prayed for 2 hours, bro. Talking to Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Mm-hmm. And I had never felt like that when I felt weird when I got up off my knees. Yeah. Like I actually had an interaction with the other side. You know what I'm saying? Then 3 months. And it was a vicious storm. It was a terrible storm. The daggone Dodge dealership was shaking. Like the windows, people looking around. I'm like, okay. The Most High passed it through. What? You know what I'm saying? He passed it through. I'm talking about, man, and it was the faith that was shown by Jeanette and her daughter. She was like, she just called me out of the blue. She was like, because she was like, we're going to look at the truck. I'm like, hey, Joe. I was like, you see this? You see what the sky look like? I was about to be like, nah. But if I'd have waited, that truck had been gone because somebody was coming to look at that same truck the next day. If we wouldn't have went that day, probably wouldn't have went the next day. She was like, nah, we going. I was like, Joe, it's about to storm. We're going. I get there, her daughter going. And her daughter stopped me in front of a truck I wasn't even looking at. Is that the truck right there? I said, that could be the truck. You know what I'm saying? She got out, got inside. She was like, yeah, this is the truck right here. I said, pop the hood. I popped the hood. I seen the hood. I mean, the engine. I was like, oh, that don't like that. I said, okay, it was more expensive than another truck. It was newer. It was bigger. Way bigger. Way bigger. Yeah. I got inside, man. They knocked about $7,000, $8,000 off that joint, man. I'm sitting there, I'm like, man. She told me what the payments was. I was like, Joe, I wasn't anticipating them payments. I could have swung half of that.
Yeah, I know how it be, man.
She was like, look, I'll take care of that. I'll take care of that until you can't get to that. But when you can get there, and I'm there now, all praise to the Most High, I'm taking care of the whole thing myself. But the fact of the matter is, I was ready to just accept what I thought was a blessing. Because it seemed like an answer.
Say it again.
I was ready to accept what I thought was my blessing. Until I was up TA washing that truck one night, and I stepped back and looked at it after I touched every inch of it. The Most High was like, that's you, ain't it? And if I could not have picked that truck if I had all the different parts that I could put together. I'm talking about from the design on the hood, to the way the chrome sit on the bumper, to the running board, to the simple inside. It ain't leather. I ain't got no CD player. I don't need one. I got my phone with my Bluetooth. I can listen to my Symphonic Flow. You know what I'm saying? Or my Hebrew hood music or whatever the case may be. It's a work truck. I dinged it up. It's a work truck. I can still clean it up, though. She shine up good. And it's big. It's big.
It's big.
It's big.
Big truck,
It's a big truck. That's my baby. That's my blessing.
That's your blessing.
All praise to the Most High.
Man.
Bahashem Yahweh Shai for the name. The challenge is money. And I don't mean just tangible, greenbacks.
Right.
It will increase your faith revenue.
Yeah.
The revenue of faith. Because if faith is the substance of things hoped for, and evidence of things not seen, your bank account's on E, but the Most High got your back. Man, you can walk into that bank and say, look, man, I need $10,000. Now, you might only leave with $300, but you needed $50. But you went in there with confidence that the Most High can give you $10,000. Somebody in the line might say, look, bro, let me write you a check for $1,000 real quick, just because of your faith that you exhibited. That don't mean the Most High didn't fail you. If you didn't go in that bank, that person would have been. That's the type of stuff he do. That's the type of stuff he do. He'll bolster your faith to the point where you ready to jump out there. And as soon as you realize it ain't gonna go like you thought it was gonna go,
the last minute.
But he'll just do this. See, you need 50. You only need $50. You need some gas, but you have not because you asked not. You come boldly for, man, yeah, give me $1 million. Ask me for it. Yeah, I want $1 million. All right, well, go around the corner and ask that person, tell that person right there, blah, 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 woo, woo, woo. But that don't mean that person going to give you $1 million. He's telling you to say that so this person that's standing over you around the corner can hear you. And that, because he already told him, when you hear that person say this, give him $100. That way I'm going to double your blessing. No, I'm not, you ain't ready for no $1 million. But I ain't going to tell you no. I'm not going to tell you no to the $1 million. I'm going to tell you what to do to get you twice what you really need. And it's just that simple.
It is.
If we listen. And then when you're faithful with that, if you do exactly what you're supposed to do with that 100 that he gave you, then that $1 million might be around the corner.
It's let me liken this to something that just happened last week. I went out to a restaurant with a nice young lady, and there was an item on the menu that said it was a burger, and that was about the only thing I recognized. So I said, I'm gonna rock with that because I ain't about to pick all this crazy stuff. But then I looked at the burger and what came on it, and it came with some foreign objects, one of which was an egg. I was like, I ain't never had no egg.
Egg on a burger?
Egg on a burger. And the fact that there was teriyaki sauce soaked into the patty. And I was like, man, I don't know. Not only did the person I was with say, just try the joint out. If it's on the menu, they wouldn't put it on here. If it wasn't good.
Oh boy.
The waitress came past. She was like, I'm telling you, this joint is tight. He's like, add whatever else you want. So I told him put some cheese on. I said, just don't make the egg run. They brought that joint back. She said when it was back, she was like, I would suggest that they cook it this type of way and add this sauce to it as well. If I do that, it's only gonna cost you $2 extra. I know she's trying to make money, but she was like, just do that. I bet you. I was like, all right, let's try it. It's the same way when I come to the Most High and ask him for a particular blessing that I think I need.
Right.
He was like, you know what? You done added too much stuff to it. Let me put this on it as well. Let me add this to it and then bring it to you in this plan, in this process. Let me bring it to you. And I promise you it's going to be exactly what you want. This is where the faith kicks in. I could either at that point have told that waitress, nah, Ben Slim, I want the burger the way I said. It's what I want because I know what I want. She said, I would suggest this. Instead of me telling her, nah, make it the way I said it, I said, let's go ahead and try it and see what happens. Because now I'm of a mindset to where everything must be prayed over and considered and tested. Everything. I bring something to the Most High, and now I'm expecting him to expand what I asked him. I'm no longer coming to him expecting exactly what I want. I'm expecting him to do greater.
Exceeding abundantly.
Exceeding abundantly, beyond. And that's the point I'm getting at. Because when that happens, if every time you go to the ATM and you say, I want $40, and that joint keeps spitting out $400, what you gonna be like? Oh man, I'm gonna keep coming back to this ATM. I'm gonna always be right here at this ATM. Not saying y'all's an ATM because he ain't. But if I go to him and ask him for a $20 blessing and he give me a $2,000 blessing, this ain't right here. This God, I don't know who y'all talking about, but this one right here, Yahweh, this one, I'm staying right here. When he does that for you, can't nobody tell you nothing, Slim. And that's what he's been doing for me perpetually, man.
Everything that we've talked about up to this point, and I ain't gonna lie, I don't know if I can wait till the top of the hour to take a break, 'cause I gotta use the bathroom. But everything we've been talking about up to this point, right? From the he gave me a couple verses this week. Yeah, I was about to text Ron and ask him to come in and switch that joint around. That don't need to be like over that way, but it's all good. Oh yeah, that feels a lot better. Man, the verse he gave me to this ill mind joint, right? The words. And it came on the heels of a night, an evening of me tripping.
Best times to
Evening of me tripping. The next day, when he finished checking me.
I told you it's the best times.
When he finished checking me, he said, now right. I said, okay, I'm in the truck. And I keep my pad with me now because I never know when he's going to say right. And other than that, I don't write. I'm always ready to write.
Right.
But if he don't say right, but it always takes for him to, something got to happen. Like when I told you Shorty, little Shorty offered me to step outside with her.
Yeah, that wild stuff.
I said I was gonna tell her. I done been in some humbling situations. And it's cool. I don't mind talking about it. This will make me different. But
yeah, okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna get this
Real
up and I'm gonna
talk.
give it the back part. Man, the little Shorty, it was my fault. Man.
Real talk.
The devil was trying to get me off the early morning. The Most High gave me the closing part.
Truth, love, no judgment.
Yep. This what he gave me. You see, they took Yahweh Shai's name out and replaced it with Jesus. Too bad Yahweh Shai the name that's given. Tradition got people tripping, sipping wine from Babylonia. Brother, don't be a goner. That's what he gave me. And it was still a few bars left in between that and where I left off at. And I'm driving. I couldn't write it. But I'm saying it over and over again in my head. I'm like, all right, bet. I got that. Go meet my man. We go to 7-Eleven. That might be creating a sound, and I can hear it. Feedback from that fan. And the mic might be. I get into 7-Eleven. And, is a gay girl working there, several females, and I'm like, I get my little food. So the young lady who was at the register asked the gay girl, she was like, can you get me a quarter pounder and a slice of pizza, please, sir? And I kind of giggled because she called the female sir.
Right.
And I was like, And I guess Shorty peeped that. And she looked like, you know, she the dude that with a jump, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm like, I look. She was like, you want a what? She was like, a slice of pizza and a quarter pounder. She was like, a slice of cheese. The girl looked. And she cut her out over there like, she was like, somebody answer. I was like, man, she already said it to you like 2 times. She was like, well, I ain't here. So you need to pay attention then, or you need to open your ears. She was like, what? Or like, what's up? That's all she said. I'm sitting at the register. There's like 10 people in line. I'm like, what's up? She was like, what's up? I was like, what you mean, what's up? I'm like, what's up? You got all that mouth. I was like, Shawty, you serious? She's like, man, nigga, see
like,
me.
what's up?
So I said, look, I don't want her to get my food. I want you to get, you know. One lady was like, man, I know that's right. She was like, man, shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever, I didn't want to get your food anyway. I fumbled. At that point, I fumbled. You know, he had me hook, line, and sinker.
Right.
And I said something that the Most High convicted me. Later on that date, I should have never said. And it wasn't vulgar. I didn't curse, but I made a statement to a human being who's in a state of mind that they may not even fully understand. I told them they need to be something else. Stay in the lane. And it sounded stupid, even though I thought out of my mind, I wouldn't even to say that to a straight female. Why would you say that? As much as females have evolved in this thing, I probably sounded real ignorant. And I didn't really know what to do. I didn't really know how to respond. The broad was like, man, you want to step outside? I think step outside. The joint went out, little, it wasn't big. Went outside, went out the emergency joint, you know, caused a big scene. All eyes on me. What you gonna do now, nigga? This broad and called you out. I'm like, Joe, am I gonna go smack this? What am I gonna do? Am I gonna fight this female?
Yeah.
What am I gonna do with this?
Ain't no win in those situations. It just ain't. Not for no man. It's like, all right, Slim, get out my
But
face.
I'm talking about there was a time
Yeah.
where I'd have followed that joint right out that back door and throttled it. Right behind the store, said, F this job, took my shirt off and rolled and went uptown and got high and drunk. Man, I've been through too much. I'm not trying to go back to jail. I'd have lost my badge. I'd have lost my BWI badge. I'd have got an assault charge. Assault, not just an assault on a female.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And who knows what else would have got conned the devil. And I'm like, Joe, right as we about to finish this project,
Man.
that's all the devil would have wanted.
That's all what he would have
To
wanted.
remove me. No, sir. I'll look like a sucker or a female dog, whatever you want to say a nigga look like. I went to the truck. Shawty went out there, took her shirt off, had the trunk popped. I'm thinking to myself, what you got? What you about to pull a pistol out? I was like, what, you a gangster? She looked at me like, yeah, I find out type of. I'm like, you know what, Joe? Should I really knuckle up with this broad, man, and just give her 2 good solid joints to show her she dealing with a man? But am I going to get away with this? Cameras everywhere. Like, I'm not going to get away with it. I thought about it real quick.
Not at all.
My left, and I couldn't function. I couldn't stop thinking about it, and that pissed me off. I'm not used to stuff festering in my head at this point in my life. I'm usually able to dismiss it. I don't care what it is. I couldn't dismiss this because I was wrong. I egged it on. When I got off work, I went by there, and the car was still there. I'm like, nah. Most I was like, don't go by there right now. So next morning, I got to be a little earlier, and it's funny because one of the dudes that was in the store, you know, he's of a lighter hue, you know. Oh, man, I think she would have got you. I said, well, you know, anything's possible. You know, I could probably reach up in the sky and pull the sun out. You know what I'm saying? But it's not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
You know, so you can think what you want to think, but he was trying to egg me on. But all praise to the Most High, that frustration resulted in me finishing out my verse, The Truth, Love, No Judgment. Now I got it, where I was stumped. But it took for me to get irate with myself to finish out this particular verse. Next morning, I stopped past there, and I go in the joint. I'm like, look, Shawty. She like,
She was in there.
yeah, she was in there at the register. And there was a dude there, kind of stepped up on the dude. I said, my bad, brother, stepping the boy, I know you count your money. I said, listen, Most I said, don't extend your hand, because you're not going to shake your hand.
Yeah.
Don't say too much, just say you was wrong, and you apologize. I said, listen, I provoked you. No, and then he also said, all she going to say is respect. Because she seemed like that type, you know what I'm saying? Probably understand the cipher, like freestyle, little dreads, little short dreads. You can see she got it. You know, other than that, if it wasn't for them, I thought she was a dude. But I see them. So I know you're a female. I was like, listen, no disrespect. I was wrong yesterday. I provoked you. You know what I'm saying? For that, I apologize. I was wrong. She was like, man, you know what I'm saying? I said, listen, Like, she probably, man, like, I don't want to hear none of that mess, nigga. You jumped out. I said, listen, Shawty, I'm not tripping off none of that. I'm looking her square in her eyes. I know where you about to go. I'm not tripping off that. I was wrong. I provoked you, and for that, I apologize. She was like, I turned around and walked away, and on my way out the door, I heard, respect. I was like, I paused. I said, wow. He played it out. And from that point on, clear conscience. Cool.
Can't nobody tell you that didn't happen.
Went back in the joint the other day. She like, good morning, sir. I'm like, how you doing? You know, and she was at the register. 2 people. She happened to get me. You have a good day. You have a good day, too. Wait, that was a cordial interaction.
Right.
There was none of that. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't even know, I was about to say something before I got on that. But I feel like I need to tell that because we find ourselves too often in situations where we feel like, oh, my pride was hurt. Oh, I gotta I gotta act like this. I gotta act like that. I gotta be like that. Nah. All you gotta do is be what the most I tell you to be. Man. And what I did was I stepped out of my lane by even letting that somebody, and that's all she said was somebody respond to me. Well, my job to say nothing. That's your coworker. She asked you for something. So if you didn't hear her, then that's between y'all. But I said something. Man, she said it twice. Now I've engaged her. I ain't hear it. You need to pay attention then. Now me and her in the back and forth. Man. So I should have never said nothing. And then I said what I said to really push her over the edge. So that was my fault. Man. And for that, I was wrong.
There's progress there's been made, though, and I want to document it, man. Because some people have framed their mind just like they settle their mind in the truth that they believe.
Right.
The fact that either nothing went wrong or it played out exactly the way it should have played out, and there is no guilt and blame. They immediately dismiss what they should have done for the sake of their pride because they don't even want to have to deal with that feeling of
what happened.
Oh man,
it was supposed to happen that way.
That's dangerous because you're cementing your mind in error. The fact that you are cannot make an error.
Infallible.
There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. You seal in your mind that you're infallible, and that's incredibly. There always has to be room to be humbled. You always have to take into account you are mortal. Your life can end in any given moment. You are not promised tomorrow. For that fact alone, you should be humble. The fact that you wake up in the morning and most people are paralyzed, you should be humble. But when you don't consider that, and you're in a world that's geared to make you think, oh yeah, you run it all. You this, you that, and you the third. You ain't got to worry about nothing. Do you? You the man. When you get that up in there, then there are no mistakes. My mistakes are meant for, but you ain't God. But we have been framed to believe that we are, man. But there's only one. And if he resides in you, then there's the connection with him.
That's the truth. That's the truth mixed with error.
Okay.
Because he resides in us.
He resides in us.
So, and we're made in his image and his likeness. Those are facts. That's known. So why can't you be God? You're made in his image. And it's like that's how the devil gonna ask you the question.
It sounded like that.
Why can't you be God? You shall not surely die. Why can't you? If God lives in you and he made you in his image and in his likeness, then you're him.
You're him.
You're just like him. Why not be him?
He already knows that you want to be like him. That's why he told you not to eat the fruit.
See, but he wants to be like the Most High.
He does.
And he ain't got access. The closest he can get to the Most High is us.
That's us. Mercy.
That's the closest he can get to interacting with the Most High, infiltrating us, because he know the Most High dwells in us. He never will be in the courts of heaven again.
I shared this with you before, but I don't think I've shared it on this show. It's an interesting revelation the Most High gave me one time. I was flipping channels at night through the movie channels, HBO or something like that, and a horror movie was on. And right when I turned to it, it was a specific scene. I don't even remember what the movie's called. I really don't. But the female, and I find it funny, there's always a female who's possessed and acting crazy. Ain't never a man. It's usually in the movies a female. So this female's on that joke, going all crazy like that. And I'm looking at the joke, and instead of being horror-stricken at it, because I know what's going on, I'm looking at the joke, I was like, man, this is so stupid. And the Most High was like this. He's like, you want to know why people shift and they spit and they do all that when they're so-and-so possessed? Because a supernatural being is trying to possess a shell that he did not create. A supernatural being that is evil, he's trying to control what I have created. So when they come into you by way to control you, that's why you're doing all this
malfunctioning.
Because they don't know exactly.
You're short-circuiting.
You're short-circuiting.
Yeah. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it in humans. Not to that extent, but I've seen people be like, I've seen it happen with a dude I work with. I got to talking to him about Yahushua and Yeshua. He good Christian. Jesus, well, the blood of listen, brother, I'm not taking it away from what you're saying. When I spit that to him, he hadn't heard it before. He gave me a couple of them joints like, I'm like,
You okay?
I said, hold up, bro. I said, look. But then as soon as I sent him on a frenzy. The Bible, he just, everybody he saw, the rest of the day, he's talking to him about the love of Jesus. I'd never seen him do that prior. But he seen me with my Tanakh. I'm reading. Oh, well, is that a Bible? No, it's a Tanakh. It's just the old, I gave a breakdown. I got to talking about Hebrew names and this, that, and the other thing, and historical stuff. And he was just like,
wasn't ready
that's
for
not
it.
in the New Testament.
Right.
Jesus didn't say that. Well, there's a lot of stuff that is not recorded that name said. But I saw it. Not to that extent. That's straight demonic possession.
Right.
But to talk about a person that has a relationship, that goes to church, that's a Christian, good guy. If they can short circuit with information that's foreign, what about when a whole foreign entity is downloading or trying to download or attempting to break into the shell or the mainframe that the Most High created, the motherboard that belongs to the Most High? They trying to program all this extra stuff. You will have some glitches.
You will.
And some short circuits.
And the actual opposite of that, when the Most High possesses somebody, and how it's the exact opposite reaction, because it seems like when the demonic entity takes over, we taking down the level. We short circuit. We malfunction. We're not even how we are regularly when nobody's possessed. We're worse than that. But when the Most High takes over, we're better than we could ever be. The gift that he put in us comes out to full fruition, and we can only do stuff that he will allow us to do at our top potential, because if he gave us the liberty to use it at our will, he knows it would lead us astray, because our pride would be all the way up, and we would suffer from the same problem Lucifer had. He saw his vocal cords. He saw his splendor. And what did he say? I want to be like the Most High. My throne is going to ascend above his. I'm going to be the man. So the Most High buried our gifts down deep. But when he touches us and wakes us up, and he shows us what he put in us and how he's going to use us, it's like nothing we can ever match.
Have you ever took your phone out your pocket and saw that it had typed a whole bunch of madness and might even have sent it?
Yeah. Might
even have sent
it.
It.
Has happened.
I've done it too.
Yeah.
Now, it just popped in my head as you were talking, right? That's what we look like when the devil got control. Because you always got that little flash and that little line that flashes before you type.
Yeah.
It's a cursor. What is
Cursor,
that? Yeah. It's always there, ready to do something. But when you don't have proper authority, proper permit, if your phone is in your pocket, you don't know what's going on. Take your phone out, and you just got X, Y, Z, 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 Q, Q, P, exclamation point. And how do you even get all this stuff together when there are two different screens? You got your alphabet, and then you got these other punctuations, but you'll see them all on your screen. And the phone's in your pocket. Who's doing it? It's not you doing it. I like to be in a position where the cursor's flashing. Phone's going through all types of madness, but ain't nothing being typed on the screen until the Most High says, type it. And they're words. It's not gibberish. It's not madness. You see some individuals that just display straight madness, but they're functioning human beings, displaying madness. Clearly, they're possessed by something else. That's a butt phone. That's a phone in somebody's back pocket that's just going crazy, putting a bunch of nonsense on the screen, a bunch of gibberish. But when your actions, when your messages are strategically typed, not just words, but strategically typed and sent on purpose. Where you push sin, you push it. You authorize this message to go through. How many times you looked at your phone? Perfect example today. I'm thinking I'm sending my daughter's mother a message because when my phone showed me a message came through, it was from her. When I went to my text message, the last person I texted was my daughter. So when I started responding to what I thought,
that's happened to me.
I sent it to my daughter. Before I realized I hit send, I was like, oh, this is Serena. So I had to tell her the last message was to your mother, but it was about something that she wasn't supposed to know about. So I basically just told her.
Told her what you wanted to keep from her.
What I was trying to keep from her. But that was about, I feel like a flippant idiot, but I mean, it'd be like that sometimes. It'd be like that sometimes, but I mean, it's hey, man. I'm about to get Ron in. I got to use the bathroom, Joe. I'm about to even jump up and run it, man. Let me take Ron in. Ron.
Is that the, yeah, okay. Yeah, there's a clock right there.
Yeah, man.
We're going to take a break.
I don't even know if he out there.
But, yeah, we ain't had no prayer.
No. I mean, it's for a reason.
Okay.
It's for a reason. It's for a reason. Bro, yeah, man. I'm trying to go to the bathroom, please. Yeah,
All right,
please,
go
sir.
ahead.
Yeah, we'll be back.
You got any water?
If thou dost not speak to one the wicked from his way, that wicked man shall die in his iniquity. But his blood will I require at thine hand. 9, nevertheless, if thou warn the wicked of his way to turn from it, if he do not turn from his way, he shall die in his iniquity. But thou hast delivered thy soul.
The world is in a coma, deep in spiritual sleep. Jacob's trouble winks at all of his curious sheep. We being led to our slaughter, see our blood in the streets. Hear mothers crying out or drying tears in the sheets. It's not a complicated concept. Together we rising. Ages against the nation, infiltrating divide. Time's getting shorter. New world order is down. Let's be prepared to hit the wilderness with boots at the ground. Cause they ain't checking for your doctrine, your camp, or who you with. Scratch the itch where they implanted your chip. I'm peeping secrets now revealed through prophetic in nature. Wish I could tell you all is well. Instead of warning the danger. Heed the message from the prophets, so knock it. It's not a joke. Think it's a game if it's somebody you know. Just got smoke. Hey, here's your warning today. Martial law and Armageddon, and it's headed our way.
Now as I think about the coming Yasha, I get excited. And the glory of the kingdom to come, it keeps me right. I'm a prophet in this day and age. Warning my people in the world that's corrupt and imbalanced. No way we equal. Now here's the sequel to the days of Noah. The world is so cold, but it's about to get colder. So may ask how you know. I tell them Oculus written. Read that book of Isaiah on what's to come and get with it. Get with what? Man, it's true because we headed to judgment. In your mind, you're gonna say that the calm said it was coming. I'd rather be safe than sorry. These laws and commandments, it ain't tedious for me. So fast as you can say that. Keep spinning your wheels for the fortune Pat say Jack. My rules don't play that. We law keepers, we know when the end game. Pick one. Is it eternal life or eternal flame?
Precept on precept, verse after verse. We here to warn Israel. Why they being cursed? Deuteronomy first. Breaking down one time. No gene search. It's for a wonder and a sign. What they waiting on? Yeshua's coming back. And he ain't gon' play. But first the sky gon' crack. When you attack with the prophecies. Pray and watch constantly. The kingdom for a few, man. That's a small quantity. The harvest is plenty. But the laborers are few. Don't get caught with your pants down. When Yeshua slide through. Get your mind right. Use a real Hebrew. Come and get that all white with fringes with water blue. Romans 12 and 2. Understand this world we forget about. Renewing our minds. Everything we learn, we zap it out. We straight up off the hood, brewed up, no doubt. All praise to the Most High. We bang the word out.
We bang the word out. Keeping it cracking, making it happen, we get active. Strike them like matches with all that yapping. What are you talking about? Nah, don't explain, just pull scripture. You ain't got that? Then holler back soon as you get them. Cause that's all we going off of. No hard feelings or lost love. That doctrine is to and fro and I ain't getting tossed up. Solid as a brick, yes. Truth gon' stick best. Rubbing these spots and blemishes out. Windex, the only way to get rid of dirt is just to get wet. So hop off in this water and follow in his footsteps. You on the wrong path right now. You need a bath right now. Don't even add up. You doing bad math right now. In the position to suffer from his wrath right now. My ock just told you the sky gon' crack a cloud. We all will be judged. This warning came before destruction. It was love. It was love.
Warning come before destruction. He's coming to bring judgment. Woe to the man that laid hands on our substance. Trust in a higher, we suffering cause we love him. Fighting in the flesh is a test. If you give enough friends, what then? Shall we sin so the grace can abound? Where it says lost, turned away, can't be found. I don't see how you can read Romans 6:15 without a full understanding of what this means. When Yeshua said he came to fulfill, made an itemized list, then he paid for the bill. Prayed for his enemies, showed us how to be real. Put in work for the kingdom, showed us how we should build. The Holy Spirit and the truth ain't about what you feel. Salvation of the soul when the chosen get sealed. Baptized by the fire and the water revealed. Game over when you go against the Most High.
All praises to a higher, the glory is shining in us. Too busy building the kingdom to worry about all the fuss. No time for the division, the Most High gave us provision. Yes, Allah on a mission, give spiritual circumcision. Make a decision, stop worrying about what you see on television. Computer vision got these blues into 2020 vision. In addition to submission to the laws of a higher, it's the tradition that keeps us in this condition. We are the children of God, whole house of Israel. No time for the game, stand up and let's build. Go of our hands are blessed, my people are so skilled, and they the ones that will arise when the prophecy fulfills. So you can keep all of your nonsense, waking up the projects, taking all the rejects, giving them some respect. Spirit of a walk got us out here like Malcolm X, connected to the Father like you're shocking.
They think this life gon' last forever, that's far-fetched. Me, I can't take no chances, why transgress? If I read it, I believe it. If I see it, I receive it. Obedient, cause living lawless is not expedient. Even when I was just a kid, I had the spirit then. Now I'm running hard like I'm filled with adrenaline. Patient on this narrow path, won't too many make it in. Heaven is my only goal, must endure until the end. Now what you gonna do when all the money's gone? Can't move, wait and be a Star Jones. Do your farm whip look more like a lawnmower? Cause the titles don't mean nothing to the love bar. And Versace, Gucci, and Prada, them just idols. It's sad than the brands that you choose to cop. Go cop a KJV and save your soul. You might not know about hell, but hell is show hot.
One the wicked of his way to turn from it. If he do not turn from his way, he shall die in his iniquity. But thou hast delivered thy soul.
The world is in the coma, deep in spiritual sleep. Jacob's trouble winks at all of his curious sheep. We being led to our slaughter, see our blood in the streets. Hear mothers crying out or drying tears in the sheets. It's not a complicated concept. Together we rise in ages against the nation, infiltrating divide. Time's getting shorter, new world order is down. Let's be prepared to hit the wilderness when boots hit the ground. Cause they ain't checking for your doctrine, your camp, or who you with. Scratch the itch where they implanted your chip. I'm peeping secrets now revealed, too prophetic in nature. Wish I could tell you all is well. Instead I'm warning the danger. Heed the message from the prophet, so knock it. It's not a joke. If it's a game, if it's somebody you know, just got smoke. Hey.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, welcome back. This is Real Talk 101. Man, we having a good show today. And we about to do something that we hadn't planned to do before. We've been working on a music project. All praise to the Most High. He's been providing everything for this project. The lyrics, the music, the engineers, the mixer, everything. He's putting this thing together. We're just going to share a little bit of what we've been working on. There's a track that we got called Verbal Combat. And if I could break it down, if you listen to the lyrics, each person is expressing a dilemma in their current life, in their current spiritual situation. And they're addressing it combatively, I think that's right, combatively, verbally in this track. So see if you can peep every message that you hear, or who's speaking what message and who they're focusing on in this track. Verbal Combat, here it is, world premiere.
Is it the world premiere?
All right, I'm playing it. It's up. It's up. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Okay, iniquities, fought that. Walking dead, brought back. Sort that format that'll have life big at. Aiming for your heart so you can watch where I reach at. If I ain't got no salt, then the people can't eat that. When I'm in the booth, man, the truth, I feel you need that. Proof is in the fruit. You don't see it, don't believe that. When the earth is nothing left for me, if anybody mention me, I want them to say that me and Christ had telepathy. The unspoken, spoken through life, he said it blessing me. You expect harvest for souls seated like sesame. So what's stressing me? Homie, not the petty, nah. You don't like it, you can get it, yeah. He did it.
Pastors and elders playing games. Ain't no youth in the church. Nah. Old traditional elders stuck in their ways. Ain't nobody really talking about deception and days and how the saints of Yah seem like they forgot how to pray. They claim to search the scriptures but don't do what it say. Let the blind lead the way, let the lamb go astray. And then you got these so-called scriptures that be sleep at the wheel. Don't the whole truth, they just want you to feel like the Holy Ghost is moving and we break for the meal. What's the deal? Start to kneel. This is fake, keep it real. And what you gonna do when your probation is closed and then the judgment roll around and now your sins are exposed? You better seek out the truth or else you know how it goes. You'll be lost with your woes and your faith decomposed. Whoa.
Yo, what's going on with the church today, man? It's not a building. It's people in the building, but we're a body. We're a body. They tried to keep us at bay by barricading the door. Now we up in the building, you already know what for. Restoration to restore the church. We a body, not a building. bringing forth that word, that's what he sent this for us. Hip-hop not dead, they just don't play it no more. Shorty wanna be a thug, I don't get it, what for? The game ain't the same, they don't hustle for it no more. And I was part of the blame too, it's a revolving door. It's all about who you know, and can you get two for one? It's a business now, not about salvation. Why? Or saving souls, they can care less. As long as they pockets on soul, they consider themselves blessed. Yes, they said rapping wasn't holy, it's not worship, it's not allowed. Not now, not ever. Man, whatever. We rockin' the crowd, fishermen the mint, reeling the mint. We up in here.
Pastors, before I make you go, I would be remiss if I didn't let you know your mom's the hoe by the hoe. I mean that harlot arrayed in purple and scarlet, riding on that beast and wrong, now corrupted cause she departed from the truth that she possessed at inception. That's when she started. Now she clicking ocean time booty stinking, just like she farted by booty. I don't need buttocks for treasure. Thinking in warrior, how was Shaq gon' flip the script? You a soldier, go grab your sword. The truth is not the reality. Maritime admirality is what the God is living, encrypted in full duality. Opposition is governed by principality. Immortals in verbal combat, fatality to their fallacies. Shit. All praise to the Most High Yah, the Wada Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Kwam Yasharala. That means rise, O Israel. Shalom.
Yes, sir. We back. So we hope y'all enjoyed that, man. Rewind that joint. I know when the show come out later, it's going to be recorded. Rewind that joint. Take a listen to the words, but more of that is coming. A lot more is coming. We building up. It's kind of like we just loading up the bunker right now.
Yeah, man.
We got a gigantic bunker that we gotta stack shells in. We gotta stack clips in, ammunition, everything. So when we come out shooting, we ain't got to worry about no reload time. Everything is right there. Everything is right there,
big
man.
clips.
Non-stop fire, relentless for suppression fire to make you to cause you to go into attrition. That's what type of fire is coming, man. Yeah, Joe. So you got scripture. You got the word open. Where we at, man?
Man, I open up to Jeremiah chapter 2, man.
Jeremiah chapter 2.
That's where I open up to, which is, all of Jeremiah, man. That's just nuggets all through Jeremiah. But, he always showing me something highlighted. I got like the first 13 chapters. 13 verses. Starting at verse 1. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came to me saying, go and cry in the ears of Jerusalem, saying, thus saith Yahweh, I remember thee, the kindness of thy youth, the love of thine espousals. Bow your head real quick. Most High Hashem, first of all, thank you for the way the first half of the show went. We understand that your presence is with us at all times, but while we got your word open, I'm specifically asking you to allow your Ruach to continue to dwell with us and give understanding and clarity to what it is we about to read. Thank you in advance for what it is you about to pull from your word and your son Yahweh Shah name. Amen. Verse 1. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came to me saying, go and cry in the ears of Jerusalem, saying, thus saith Yahweh, I remember thee, the kindness of thy youth, the love of thine espousals, when thou wentest after me in the wilderness, in a land that was not sown. Israel was holiness unto Yahweh, and the first fruits of his increase. All that devour him shall offend. Evil shall come upon them, saith Yahweh. Hear ye the word of Yahweh, O house of Jacob, and all the families of the house of Israel. Thus saith Yahweh, what iniquity have your fathers found in me, that they are gone far from me, and have walked after vanity and are become vain? Let's chop that up.
Okay.
What did Jerusalem say for that right there?
For them first verses, it says, the word of Yahweh addressed to me, saying, go and shout this in the hearing of Jerusalem. Yahweh says this, I remember the affection of your youth, the love of your bridal days. You followed me through the wilderness, through a land unsown. Israel was sacred to Yahweh, the first fruits of his harvest. Anyone who ate of this had to pay for it. Misfortune came to them. It is Yahweh who speaks.
Anybody who ate of Israel, anybody that offended him,
of the first fruit,
tried to stick.
Misfortune came to them. Listen to the word of Yahweh, house of Jacob, and all you families of the house of Israel. Thus says Yahweh, What shortcomings did your fathers find in me that led them to desert me? Vanity they pursued, vanity they became. Vanity is often used of false gods. Thou shalt be like them who make them. Psalms 115, verse 8. Ooh. So he's saying they worshiped. Vanity became the actual God over them. They pursued it, and then they became that.
So could it be because of the protection that they experienced that the Most High had over them and made them vain? Like, you can't do nothing to us. We the remnant church. You can't do nothing to us. We're rich and increasing goods and in need of nothing.
But this is the thing that would cause somebody to question that logic for them to even try to do that. If their vanity is in the Most High, he's saying, what led them away to desert me? So it's like they're boasting in the fact that they have him, but yet they're deserting him. So
does that mean they're boasting in him?
Nah, not
they're
really.
They're boasting in the fact that they have him.
Right.
We're better than you because we have him. Instead of us showing you him through our actions, you're nothing because you don't have him and we do. That's what I think that vanity, that's what bred that pride.
That's so dangerous, man.
Pride bred that vanity.
It did.
Without that bridge, without that bridge of pride, they couldn't have became vain. They prided themselves on the fact that they had a tight relationship with the Most High.
That's why the Most High,
he picked them.
That's why he told them to pass down the stories of what happened in Egypt, so they would never forget that they came from nothing.
Truth.
They were in a helpless position where they could do nothing, and then they were delivered. That's why it was important for them, because that was their root. That's where they started, as that grand people.
Read your verse. Read your verse 4.
Listen to the word of Yahweh, house of Jacob, and all you families of the house of Israel.
Okay. All the families. I like how it says all the families. This says, hear ye the word of your O house of Israel and all the families of the house. Okay. I wasn't get that far. Oh, yeah. Thus saith, I went to 6.
You at 6. Yeah.
Went to 6. Vanity, I become vain.
They never said.
Neither said they, where is Yahweh? Verse 5, thus saith Yahweh, what iniquity have your fathers found in me, that they are gone far from me, and have walked after vanity, and are become vain? Neither said they, where is Yahweh, that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, that led us through the wilderness, through a land of deserts and of pits, through a land of drought and of the shadow of death? Thus saith Yahweh, what iniquity have your fathers found in me, that they are gone far from me, and have walked after vanity, and are become vain? So they didn't find no iniquity in him. Neither did they say, where is Yahweh that brought us up out of the land of Egypt and led us through the wilderness, through a land of deserts and pits, through a land of drought and of the shadow of death, through a land that no man passed through and where no man dwelt. And I brought you into a plentiful country to eat the fruit thereof and the goodness thereof. But when ye entered, ye defiled my land and made mine heritage an abomination. The priest said not, where is Yahweh? And they that handle the law knew me not. I think that verse right there says a lot. The priest said not. But apparently this is after they came into that land.
Right.
After they came to that land where he brought them into, it was plentiful, there was a lot to eat, fruit there was goodness there, but when they entered it in, they defiled the land and made its heritage an abomination. The priest didn't even ask, where's the Most High?
Mm-hmm. But I got a quick note on that.
What's up?
You said it says right here, the priests have never asked, where is Yahweh? Then it says, those who administer the law have no knowledge of me. But there's a notation next to the part where it says, those who administer the law, and the note says the priests themselves. So not only did the priests not ask, where is Yahweh, but it says they had no knowledge of him. So that's a double foul. They didn't ask where he was, and then it says, those who administer the law, the priests themselves, they have no knowledge of me.
And it goes further.
It goes further with the shepherds.
Now, you got the priests, those who profess to be. And I don't know if it's talking about the Levitical priests. I don't know if it's specifically talking about them, the ones he picked to be priests over the people. But as his people defiled themselves in the land, things changed. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But these you bring the priest some bread, slide them some coins, some silver, some gold. Hey, look, man, just don't worry about it. I take a portion of your sacrifice from somebody else. There was a bunch of corrupted stuff going on. They weren't even tripping off the law. It ain't had nothing to do with the law. They was trying to increase their pocket. You go from the priest said not, where's Yahweh? They wouldn't even inquire of the Most High. They weren't even inquiring of the Most High. They wasn't taking nothing to the Most High. They ain't say where the priest said not, where is Yahweh? And they that handle the law knew me not. So you got people that's professing to be handlers of the law that ain't got a clue who the Most High is. He's showing you right here. The priest ain't talking to him, asking him what's up, and the handlers of the law don't know who he is. Knew me not. The pastors also transgressed against me, and the prophets prophesied by Baal.
This is yours as pastors?
It says, pastors also transgressed against me, and the prophets prophesied by Baal and walked after the things that do not profit. That's verse 8.
Yeah.
What yours say?
The shepherds have rebelled against me. The prophets have prophesied in the name of Baal, following things with no power in them.
Now, this is funny. You ever seen that movie with Wesley Snipes and Sean Connery?
Oh, Sean Connery! I thought you were about to say something.
They was like he was.
What
like,
was they doing? I'm sure they was in something.
Wesley Snipes was a cop, and somebody got killed, but because I think it was a Japanese corporation, they called in Sean Connery and.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that. I know I've seen it.
I can't remember the name of it, but they called him something. Remember he told Sean Connery, what's his name? You like my co-high or co-him or something like that, meaning understudy, and he was this. So the Tanakh says, verse chapter 8, said the Kohanim, priest.
Kohanim, yeah.
I'm assuming that's the priest, but he just used it as like an overstudy, I guess, like a superior. The Kohanim did not say, where is Hashem? Those charged with teaching the Torah did not know me.
Right.
The shepherds rebelled against me. This says the shepherds rebelled against me. The prophets prophesied by the Baal. That just blows me every time I see the Baal, knowing what Baal translates into.
Yeah. It's very subtle.
Very. The prophets prophesied by the Baal, and they went after those that cannot avail.
Following things with no power in them.
Pick up at 9.
So I must put you on trial once more. It is Yahweh who speaks. And your children's children too.
Hold up. Wherefore I will yet plead with you.
That's what yours said.
Wherefore I will yet plead with you, saith Yahweh. And with your children's children will I plead.
Man. Now take ship for the islands of Kittim, or send to Kedar to inquire. Take careful notice and observe if anything like this has happened.
You got a note on that?
Yeah, for Kittim and Kedar.
Yeah.
Kittim is the ancient Phoenician colony of Khitan in Cyprus, but here the term must include the coasts of the islands of the Mediterranean. And here the text adds and sea. So it says, now take the ship for the islands of Kittim and sea, or send to Kedar. Kedar says the tribe of Transjordan nomads here represent the east as Kittim does the west. So the east and the west. Okay. Now take a ship for the islands of Kittim and sea, or to the west, or send to Kedar to the east to inquire. Take careful notice and observe if anything like this has happened. Oh, so those are the furthest points. He just told me that. Okay. All right. So those are those are the ends that they know. Oh man. So those are the ends of the territories that they know about.
They know.
All the way over there and all the way over here. You can ask, see if anything has been done like this before. Does a nation change its God? Whoa.
Come on, man.
Does a nation change its gods? And these are not gods at all? Yet my people have exchanged their glory for what has no power in it. And I have a notation says, the monotheism of the early prophets involves the rejection of alien gods, which for them are vanity, emptiness, helplessness, nothing. After the exile is implied, condemnation becomes explicit in formal demonstrations of their non-existence. All right, I got to break that down because that was a lot. All right, so it said the monotheism of early prophets involves the rejection of alien gods, which for them, the alien gods were not the regular gods of the land, but Vanity, they were not to be vain. Emptiness, that was a god. They were not to be empty, meaning always depressed and down on themselves. Helplessness, can't nobody help me in my problems. Kind of what we had started talking about over there, the doubts that we have. We think and we consider them so much they become our gods. So what he's saying right here is vanity, emptiness, helplessness, and nothing. Those are the foreign gods, the alien gods. He's like, those shouldn't even be in your vocabulary. You shouldn't even be looking at those because y'all are mine. Y'all roll with me. So it's not even, you shouldn't even have any of that. Then it says, after the exile, this implied condemnation becomes explicit in formal demonstrations of their non-existence.
This is almost the Most High taking a jab at anybody that ain't a student. Because if you think about what he's asking, he told you what was going to happen in Deuteronomy to his people if they were not going to be adherents of his laws. If you're going to do this, you're going to be blessed in the street. If you don't, you're going to be cursed.
Right.
Now, apparently they're in a cursed state. And he's like, what happened? What's up? But if you listen to what this 11 says. Mm-hmm. And now you got to understand something, Joe. We trying to bring this thing home as y'all have seen the transformation taking place with just us two right here, as among, not to mention other people that have been a part of this ministry.
Right.
Has a nation ever exchanged its gods? Though they are not genuine gods. You exchanging something for something that ain't even genuine. Has that ever happened? I would go as far as I said. At this point, it may not. But where we at now, we've done it. We've exchanged our ancestral connection with the Most High Yah with the gods of Egypt, the gods of this country, the gods of Rome. Whatever they want us to believe in, that's what we profess, that's what we push as gospel, as doctrine. But they ain't gods for real. The question is being asked, has a nation ever exchanged its gods, though they are not genuine gods? Yet my people have exchanged its glory for something of no avail. Be astounded, O heavens, over this rage forth in a storm. Be greatly devastated, the word of Hashem. For my people has committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the source of living waters, to dig for themselves cisterns, broken cisterns, that cannot hold the water. Oh, two evils. Mm-hmm. That was one. Did you just break down what the two evils are?
Yeah.
Go ahead. You read it from yours. Because I don't see that.
Okay, so I'll start from 11. Does a nation change its gods, and these are not gods at all? Yet my people have exchanged their glory for what has no power in it. You heavens, stand aghast at this and stand stupefied.
Again, they exchanged their glory for something that has no power in it.
Yeah. Yet my people have exchanged their glory with a
capital G.
Capital G for what has no power in it. No power. You heavens, stand aghast at this. They tell us there's
power in something. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
They tell us there's power in something.
Yeah.
The Most High said
ain't no power in it. Mercy. Mm-hmm. Man, he be winking at our ignorance.
You're trying to wake us up.
Yeah.
About to slap somebody.
You heavens, stand aghast at this. Stand stupefied. Stand utterly appalled. Stupefied. Some shit. Stand aghast at this. Stand stupefied. Stand utterly appalled. It is Yahweh who speaks. Since my people have committed a double crime. They have abandoned me, the fountain of living water, only to dig cisterns for themselves, leaky cisterns that hold no water. I see what you're saying.
Is it, number one, they forsook me, the source of living water. Number two, they dug for themselves.
They dug for themselves. Yeah, that's what it was.
I got you.
So it's
like
one
going away from the
one
well.
resulted for another.
You're going away from the well. You know I'm the fountain, and then you going out there digging your own holes.
But it's what we do. We place our allegiance to that which we can see, the tangible, because God, we can't see him. And sometimes he don't talk to us. And we don't see his handiwork. We don't experience him in our life. So because of that, he there, but I mean, he ain't really there in my life.
We need instant gratification. We need it now.
We need it now. So what do we see? Well, I know I'm the man.
Self.
Pride. It's the thing that's striking me about this is like the feelings or the thoughts that we have within ourselves that consume our mind. This goes along with what Nikki was telling me the other day. He was like, yeah, you got to really change your mindset.
Tell her to call the show.
Yeah.
She want to talk.
Yeah.
My bad. I ain't been to stop you, bro.
You got me.
I text her. Go ahead. You said this what Nikki was talking about the other
day. She was
day.
talking about this for the fact that it's about changing our habits, like how we speak. and not so much in a state of being helpless and not knowing what's going on, but in power and in faith through the God that we know, we love, and we serve, the Most High God, Yahweh. And it's like, we just don't have practice doing that. People in the church don't even really do that for real because we don't see the change that is evident by walking in that type of faith. One thing I was talking to my mother about this morning is the fact that it's like one thing that I wish was, I mean, since y'all like tradition so much, since we have a traditional format, it's like one thing that always should be included, I believe, in the service should be the testimony from the audience.
Always should be.
Because you got to have people who are sitting next to you who are going through the same muck and mud that you are and hearing them overcome, because that gives hope to you. Sometimes we idolize and put people up on a pedestal because every Sabbath they sit in an idolized pedestal elevated area, which they got from the church format, which came from Rome, but we ain't even gonna get on that. The size of the chair and everything that they sit in, all that is for a purpose. And then the platform in which they speak is to all be over you, to invoke the fact that this is holy. When I'm speaking, I'm in an elevated position. So if I tell you about a testimony up here, it's hard to relate to you because you perfect in my eyes because you run this whole show. You the pastor. But when you get testimony from people who are right down there on the same level as you, and even, you know what, I ain't even going to section all pastors off of that because there are some who are incredibly transparent, almost to a fault. They cause the majority of people who are their colleagues, their counterparts, and even over them to question how they minister. Now, that's a shame. When you find a pastor or a minister who's willing to be transparent and show you, oh, I'm right down here with you, then you'll have other people who will fight against that because you the pastor. You ain't supposed to expose that side of yourself.
That's a pastor that believes in the scriptures. May not fully understand what he should be doing with that information, or may not have all of it, but he understands that you overcome through the blood of the Lamb and the power of your testimony.
True.
So if I can at least tell you where I've been, what I've done, even if I'm still doing it, but I'm here trying to be, trying to serve or be of service, then you can do it too. The Most High can use you just like he using me. But it's the ones that act like they ain't never did nothing. They ain't never did nothing. But when you leave here, you got to cut your phone off and leave it in your car because there's too many bras hitting you up. Pastor, because you with the wife and kids today.
Right.
You're not counseling.
Right.
During the week when you're having them counsel sessions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When it's just you and Shawty, all the singles.
That's dangerous.
It's very dangerous. I would never say there's nothing easy about being a pastor. I would never say that.
Never that.
You know what I'm saying? Which is probably why they don't really dig as much as they should because they got so much other stuff. If the devil would leave them alone in certain other areas, they'd probably have more mental space to really seek truth.
That's why some take sabbaticals, man. That's why they do that. I actually love that idea. If ever you have the urge to get away from society and what is normal and just be away with you and the Most High, that's never a bad idea. That's never a bad. I wish I could do it because we can't.
Man, you do it all the time, man. Every time I turn around, you coming back from another country. Every time I turn around, brother, I'm coming from Colombia. I went to the DI. I was in Canada. I went to Italy. Come on, man. You went to Paris.
I tell you what, the experience is different now because of that. Because he allows me to travel. Because before, man, I thought it was all me, man. I told you about one of the most foolish, prideful thoughts that I really believed in my mind. I used to be notorious for getting myself and my boys home while I was drunk from the club on Saturday night. Then no matter how twisted I was, just get me behind the wheel. I'm going to get you there. I'll get you. I get everybody to their house, and then I'll end at my house, and my mind will not click upon what just happened until I'm stepping across the threshold of my door. It happened every time. I was like, man, I'm really home. I don't remember that trip at all. I don't remember dropping them off at all. I was just on cruise control, but I'd never get pulled over. I'd never get into an accident. I would just be driving, just as stoned as they was, or just as drunk as they was. Just like, had them, they'd be knocked out. They'd be passed out in the back. I just got my music playing. I'm just riding. And then I get home, like, yeah, this is me. I know how to cruise.
That's interesting.
It's arrogant, and go ahead.
But once you realize that, like I bet you still possess the ability to do that today. It's funny how many times I found myself in a situation where I knew if I did not keep my wits about me, situation was gonna go all the way to the left. Drinking and smoking and everything. I'm dusted, but I knew if I don't keep my wits about it was never me. Like, man, that wasn't me. But there were times I was like, I know I'm drunk. I gotta be. I drank too much, and I'm still drinking. But it's by the time I got like right around the corner of the house, you get all that. The booze start coming down. You with all praise to the Most High.
Up until then.
Cause that ain't sure to hit you again, is it?
Nah, it's somebody else.
I text you, she don't respond.
I don't even know who that is.
But I mean, I feel you on that, bro. That's how my brother Michi was. He was always the designated driver. He always. The couple times I seen him pull over, I was like, dang, Joe Michi must be twisted.
Yeah.
He ain't still driving. Look, I ain't had no license. I felt bad because he had to always drive.
Right.
Always. I'm like, I ain't had nothing to worry about.
Hey, Beach,
man.
I feel you on that, dog.
I'm in the back.
Out
Out like a light,
driver,
Joe.
man.
But I mean, you know, that's a gift. And all praise to the Most High, you didn't let that attitude stay. That it's you.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
When my mind was awakened, I saw the angel that was flying next to my car.
All you had to know was a blessing.
Yeah, you just clear that joint, clear the way right on out, man.
You got to know you were being preserved.
I was. That's precise, because if I got pulled over, it would have been a wrap.
You know what I'm saying? That's why a part of me, the Most High showed me something, man. It's like, as terrible as it seems, what his people have gone through in this country. As terrible as it seems, based on history. A lot worse things have happened to groups of people. Not to the extent that it happened to people of color in this country, because our history was taken away. It don't get no worse than that, to where you no longer who you are.
Man.
The Most High has wiped out entire nations. That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
You will never again be remembered.
Yeah.
Only way we know it happened is because it's documented in this book.
Yeah.
So at least we still here. But think about what happened. Think about what happened. We were disobedient. So he punished us. He punished us by sending us to this country. I believe we had become diluted in our chosen state over there. So in order to get that pure, believing Israelite back, I got to tear him down. I got to tear him down, tear all of that nonsense out, beat it out of him. And then this generation right here, we knew it was coming to this. Now, we know what's up. We got the information, and we're going to believe harder than our ancestors did. So what do you think the Most High going to do with us? But you know how you got to go through a fire to get the purified gold?
Yeah.
They had already been in a pure state and became corrupted and more corrupted and more corrupted. So he sent us here to get torn down so he could rebuild us. Now he's in the rebuilding phase. The tearing down is taking place. If you want to stay in a torn down state, stay in a torn down state. He's like, I'm trying to rebuild you. And 19 is going to show you that. 19 and 20, and we can 19, 20, and 21, we can stop there for real as far as scripture is concerned and let that take us on out. But I'm curious to see what it says in the Jerusalem. 19, for where we was at? Jeremiah 2.
Okay.
We skipped around, skipped a little bit. We stopped at
we're at 14. We're at 14.
But 19, 20, and 21.
Oh, go straight there.
Yeah.
19, 20, 21. 19. Your own wickedness is punishing you. Your own apostasies are rebuking you. Consider carefully how evil and bitter it is for you to abandon Yahweh your God and not to stand in awe of me. It is Yahweh Sabaoth who speaks.
Who?
Yahweh Sabaoth. I gotta figure out what that means because I've seen it a few times. Yeah, like a additive to his name.
Sabaoth.
I don't know. Yeah.
Sabaoth. I done heard that before.
I have too.
Sabaoth.
20. It is long ago now since you broke your yoke, burst your bonds, and said, I will not serve. Yet on every high hill and under every spreading tree you have lain down like a harlot. Yet I have planted you, a choice vine, a shoot of soundest stock. How is it you have become a degenerate plant, you bastard vine? Should you launder yourself with potash, and put in quantities of lye, L-Y-E, I should still detect the stain of your guilt. Did I supposed to stop?
All right, man. The Spirit told you keep going. Because it's relevant.
I should still detect the stain of your guilt. It is the Lord Yahweh who speaks. How dare you say, I am not defiled. I have not run after the Baals. Look at your footprints in the valley and acknowledge what you have done. A frantic she-camel running in all directions. Bolts for the desert. Snuffing the breeze in desire. Who can control her when she is on heat? Whoever looks for her will have no trouble. He will find her with her mate. Beware, your own foot may soon go unshod. Your own throat may grow dry.
Let me read this. Let me read this.
Yeah,
Thine own wickedness shall correct thee. 19. And thy backsliding shall reprove thee. That's where we at now. We recognizing our state, and we're receiving correction. For some reason, some people feel like we're not wrong. We're where we're supposed to be. Thine own wickedness shall correct thee, and thy backsliding shall reprove thee. Know therefore and see that it is an evil thing and bitter that thou hast forsaken Yahweh thy Elohim, and that my fear is not in thee. His fear is no longer in us. You know, upon us. It ain't in us no more. Saith Yahweh, Elohim of hosts. That's what yours says, Sabaoth, right?
That's probably what that means.
For of old time I have broken thy yoke. This thing has been taken care of. He been took care of this. For of old time I have broken thy yoke and burst thy bands, and thou saidest, I will not transgress. When upon every high hill and under every green tree thou wanderest, playing the harlot. And the entire world is going to wander after the beast. Wonder. But we're wandering in the midst of them wandering. Following suit. Yet I had planted thee a noble vine, holy, a right seed. How then art thou turned into this degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me? A strange vine.
Let's just say bastard vine.
Bastard vine. A degenerate plant of a strange vine. We're a product of a tainted system. We are. Wow. We're a product of a tainted system. We're the plant of a degenerate vine. They're the vine that is the degenerate vine now. And they planted us over here in this country. Christianity. We're the plant of a strange vine, a degenerate plant of a strange vine. For though thou washest with nitre and take thy much sop, yet thine iniquity is marked before me, saith Yahweh. How canst thou say I am not polluted? How can we listen to all of this that the Most High is telling us we're guilty of, looking at history, looking at what has happened in the church? How you got the audacity to tell the Most High, how canst thou say I'm not polluted? I ain't gone after Balaam. I didn't do that, but you're doing it every time you stand up professing something that you don't really have a knowledge of.
But if they don't know they doing it, that
don't mean they ain't doing it.
Yeah, that don't mean they ain't doing it.
He may not be holding you
against it.
You know what I'm saying, accountable.
Right.
But that don't mean you can't say, I just told you everything. You're a degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me. I don't even know what y'all doing.
The thing, but let me tell you where the transgression is. Because if somebody challenges them, it says you doing wrong. But then they're like, how can you say that? Because remember it said the double crime? Because you abandoned him, you don't even think that after the challenge is brought to you to go back to him and double check. Is he right? You don't even have that wherewithal of that mindset. You're entrenched into what you're doing.
We abandoned the well of living water. And went to go dig somewhere else.
Yeah. So with you don't even look.
You don't need. We're thirsty, and he's the only one that can quench that thirst. We're looking for it somewhere else.
And that's where the transgression comes in, because you've abandoned him.
And at this point, where we're going to get our water from is wrong. At this point in this earth's history, that's where everybody that's calling themselves thirsting and looking for drink, you going back to that strange vine.
How do we classify them as wrong? Because of religion, right? Or because of...
I ain't even talking about the church.
Okay.
It's all over there, though.
Okay.
Rome is that final beast power, except for when that clay get mixed in.
Right.
So it's all centered around them. Now, we know that that's the seat of the papacy, and the Catholic Church is the baby of the papacy. But I'm talking about Rome and its political and religious power. All roads lead to Rome. But ain't nobody asking the questions. Because they don't even know. They don't even understand that that's the enemy. Can an Ethiopian change his skin or a leopard his spots? They ain't changing.
Man.
Babylon, Slim. Not all of this. You got to be able to read between the lines. That's why the Most High blessed us with this ministry. And that don't mean everything we say you're supposed to take as if it's...
face value, no.
Well,
please don't do that. I mean, because that'll be the practice of already what's going on.
I don't know.
No, not thinking for yourself, not researching for yourself is just a problem.
Promise, persecution, perseverance.
Hello?
What up?
Hi.
What's up, girl?
Nothing much.
Oh my goodness, she actually called in.
Look.
Hold fast, Slim.
Look, yeah.
That's crazy.
What's up, nigga? This our sister and sister from another mother and a partner in ministry on the line. The viewers can hear you go. What's up, Sean? What's up?
That's amazing.
Hey.
You know,
just calling to say hey.
You said just calling to say hi, huh?
Yes.
I know you got a spirit. He had to have dropped some of your spirit right before you called. I know he did. I know you too well.
I was talking to a girlfriend of mine, helping her with some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what's the topic today? What y'all talking about?
I bounced out. I started this thing out with a little bit of the conversation me and you had yesterday about living and walking in faith. And how we have not seen true examples of that where we currently are.
No. Oh yeah, I'm ready.
You got 10 minutes. Go.
Okay. So our conversation is faith. So as far as faith, like I talked to Bradley and I talked to O, and basically, sorry, I was running. Basically, in the community that like I talk about a lot, I've seen more faith in that community than in the church out of however many years. I've been going to DuPont, Oakwood, and everything. When I say that, like, people talk about manifestation and, like, when you have law of attraction and all that other stuff. And what I've learned in it is that they believe that they can have, let's say their bank account is empty, and they have no way, no job or nothing. They believe in the type of faith that these people have that I see is like they believe they can have $500 in the next 15 minutes. They feel like they can have it in 24 hours. They feel like they can have a car by the end of the week. Like, that's the kind of faith that is real faith. Like, that's that, kick out the box faith. And I haven't seen that kind of faith in never. I haven't seen that kind of faith like in a long time. And so, a lot of things that I see, like I said, with this community or whatever, it still has me reflect back to the Bible or whatever. It's almost understanding the power within yourself, so greater is he that's within me, that's within the world. So now I begin to understand that this power lies within me. And for some reason, we as human beings and we as people feel like we have to continue to look outside of ourselves for something. When God says, I've given it to you, it's already inside of you. You need to believe in it. You need to understand that when you set an intention, you are actually a co-creator. I am the creator. And because we are bred from him and we are made from him and we are his children, why would we not have power? You know what I'm saying? So I'm learning all of that, as well as, like, for example, one of the ways to manifest, like when I hear people speak now, I hear their soul, I hear their spirit. So it's not that I know you, but if I hear your words and I hear you talking about something, I can literally hear what your inner self is saying. I can hear what your soul is saying. And one of the things on manifestation, they say, like let's say the couple of steps to manifest would be to be grateful. The first thing, take 17 seconds, put a timer, and be grateful. And then once you're grateful, after that 17 seconds, set it, for another 17 seconds, and then set your intention. Visualize it. Begin to feel it and feel it around you and how it would feel. So that's basically raising your vibration and your energy. And then at the end of that, be grateful to God, your creator, and everything for giving you the opportunity to ask for it. And so in all of that, this was just a regular manifestation video, had nothing to do with the church or anything. But what I heard on that, on a soul level, they were teaching you how to pray. Because the first thing is being grateful. That's a prayer. And then the second thing was write the vision and make it plain, which is visualize and feel it and make it plain. So that's through a visionary board or tools or whatever, or affirmations, as we say. You know, and I feel like when people read their morning word in the morning, their daily devotions, it's actually raising your vibration, because you're supposed to stay in a good space. So when God says, you know, I didn't give you the spirit of fear, he did not. It's not a part of our DNA. It's not a part of what we're supposed to have. Now, pain is something we experience, because pain lets us know what we need to fix, what we need to deal with. But fear is not. It's an illusion. You don't have to fear anything. You know, and like when God tells you to stay, you know, with a good heart, love people, be kind, all of those different things that we have to learn, the Beatitudes and all of that stuff, is to stay in a high vibration so he can give you what it is that you're asking for, which goes again to manifestation. But if we really understand that and really follow the words like as he means them, we will be so far beyond. We wouldn't be asking, we would be giving. We would just be like, hey, I got it. We would be teaching people how to do this. We wouldn't be beggars. And I feel like the church are beggars in a way.
I always question the reason why. I mean, this is like I said before, I've had silent questions that I've had within me. I don't believe any other human can answer. It just had to be the Most High. And it's just like, why aren't there healings? You know, casting out of devils like on a regular. I'm not talking about the ones for show that you see on TV with some pastor's taking off his suit jacket, hitting people with it, saying that they, free from demonic possession. So not that looks ridiculous. I'm talking about just actual, authentic healing.
You want to know why?
Go ahead.
Lack of faith.
Oh, absolutely. I know it's lack of faith. Absolutely, I know that.
Lack of faith.
We're scared to even ask that type of thing.
And that's one of the things I said, like, if I was to walk in a church and just walk up to someone and put my hand on them, the church would look at me like, oh, my God, like, who is she? Like, is she a witch? And then if it does, like, I do heal her, then it would be like, oh, that's a supernatural, amazing thing. But yet we're talking about the power of God every day, walking on water and doing miracles. So miracles are every day, and he says that to you. Greater miracles will they do now than they did then. Yeah. So why don't we believe him? Because for some reason in our flesh we think God's a liar. We dare not say it as a church. Oh, how dare I? Just like with when you ask a Christian, hey, are you going to heaven? Guess what they say? Well, I'm trying. Well, I think I'm going to get there. No, with all confidence, I absolutely am. Because God told me to have faith in that. Why is it a cliche if I say, yes, I'm going to heaven? People want to look at me and probably throw stones at me in church because I have the confidence enough to say that? But you're teaching me to have faith in that. I can't have too much faith.
They would definitely stone you.
Yeah, I can't have too much faith. That's too much.
Yeah. It's a lack of faith, though. But like you said, it's a lack of faith. If you came to the church and started healing people, flat out healing people, they would think something was wrong with you.
Right.
They would think you were displaying some type of supernatural, what you are, displaying a supernatural power, but it's of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's crazy because, like, if an individual, you could believe, look at the story of the centurion. The centurion came to the Savior. This is crazy.
I was just telling my mom about that.
He wasn't no that blame follower. Yeah. He wasn't no believer. He was a Roman.
He's a Roman.
Right.
But because of what he witnessed, because of what he saw and heard, he was like, man, look, man, apparently this dude can do this, man. Can you do me a solid? He's like, man, where you living? You ain't got to come to my house. He said, man, I ain't seen no faith, no great faith like this nowhere in Israel. Nowhere amongst my people. So you gotta almost not even anticipate the church being receptive. You just got to get that individual who he telling you to heal, take them in the corner, ask them if they believe, and then speak words of life to them.
I want to go as far as say the centurion recognized a man with authority.
That's what it was. Right. That's what he said. He said, you're a man of authority.
I tell Bama's to come and go, they do it, and I've seen how you roll. I've seen people follow you. You got to be a man that has that same type of control. So because I believe that off of sight and what I've heard automatically, and because what I've heard about you, go ahead and say the word from wherever you at, and it's going to happen. Now, that's something else, because he was accustomed to giving a word to somebody who was standing in front of him that could hear him.
Right.
He just, They didn't have phones back then. He told him to say a word that he didn't know when he was going to say. He didn't know when the courier was going to get to him and bring this message. So it's like, I just want you to go to this dude and tell him to say the word. Tell him he ain't got to come in. Just say the word, and I'm going to just sit back and wait for my daughter to be better. Now, that's something, because I'm sure he just went into his daughter's room while she's sitting there sweating. He's like, it's going to be all right, baby. It's going to be all right.
I think that's why our mindset needs to be changed, though, because I think it's a lot of people that aren't healed. A lot of people are not healed. A lot of people have not received the blessings that they want because, number one, they ask amiss.
They ask amiss.
They ask amiss. They don't even believe. Well, first of all, if you don't believe you deserve it, you'll never get it. And we're not deserving.
They don't believe it.
But you're supposed to
and
ask.
That's kind of like what I was talking to Bradley about yesterday. One of the things that what is amazing to me, like I was telling Bradley, is that God is so big, and for some reason we feel like we have the only real truth and the only real part of God, the only real part of God, which is in the Adventist community. But when I look at the people that's talking about manifestation, and I look at people that's talking about, so many different things that are not necessarily in the church, guess what? Half of them are vegans, so they got that word. You know what I'm saying? Like, we feel like, we only the ones who know the real diet and what is really supposed to happen. No, why are we boxing him? God is big enough to get his word to his people. They're able enough to know what faith looks like. So that, because my thing is, when I look at them, I see something. I can see that they have manifested things because their faith is actually showing me something. I hate to say that when I go to the church, we're still struggling with asking for the same building fund. We ain't got the church built yet. Because this mug asked for something $500 last week. He got it in 2 hours. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like the same messages are going out. They still understand faith. They still understand God. They still understand the message of being grateful. Like, why do we feel like we have to be the ones to let the entire world know God is big? He's so big, and everybody's getting the same message. It may be in different ways, but at the end of the day, it's still the same bottom line message.
I want to say something, not to discredit anything you just said, but I looked up the word manifestation. The demonstration or revelation of the existence, nature, or qualities of some person or thing. A public display as a procession or the wearing of badges for showing, feeling, or gaining attention. Now, with manifestation, I'm gonna flip over to because you gotta think about it. When Moses was before Pharaoh, and the Most High told him to do this, that, or the other thing, Pharaoh's musicians did not perform miracles; they performed manifestations of what Moses did, reenactments of what Moses did. So I'm gonna look up what a miracle is, as opposed to manifestation. Like I said, I'm not taking anything away, but I think it's become. You're absolutely right, but I think what you're perceiving as a manifestation. I mean, we could talk further about this later.
Everyday miracles.
Everyday miracles.
Everyday miracles and our blessings that people are asking for. They say manifesting, but that's what they mean because they're going to God.
Because a manifestation will give more credit to some unknown entity. Right. That miracle, you know it's coming from the Most High.
Right.
Because that's where he works.
But the devil can manifest too.
But the thing is, the church believes in neither. So we don't believe in manifestation nor a miracle. So they feel like miracles is way back in Jesus' day, and I shouldn't be in my heart saying, well, I don't know when I'm going to see a miracle. Hopefully I see a miracle one time in my life.
Hold on, Nick.
We can see miracles every day.
You heard what the definition of manifestation was. It actually sounds like you're speaking more. A manifestation, the demonstration or revelation of the existence, nature, or quality of some person or thing. A miracle. That's not what I'm saying. An act or happening in the material or physical sphere that apparently departs from the laws of nature or goes beyond what is known concerning these laws. A supernatural occurrence. That's what it sounds like you're talking about.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as far as terminology, it's like you're talking about a miracle, but the understanding is being given to a manifestation because a miracle is a manifestation of sorts.
Right.
Of sorts.
Right.
But by definition, two different things.
Right. But then, but for me, it's like when you follow the steps of it, like Pharaoh might have done something different. But when you follow the steps of manifestation, aka miracle, you're going to God. So you're going to God. You're setting an intention. You're being grateful. You're asking, but you're believing. And you're changing your vibration. You're changing your feeling. Because at the end of the day, it's not about what you say out of your mouth. It's about what you feel and what you project. So if every day you say, I got bills, I'm dead broke, I'm broke as a joke, then you're going to continue to be broke and be broke and be broke. It's not about
if you're speaking that over yourself, right?
It's not even that. It's about what you feel. Like, out of my mouth, I can say I'm the president. My heart, I'd be like, I'm never the president. So guess what? God goes with your heart, and that's what he says. Like, you can say it out your mouth. God ain't fake. He's not going. He like, I'm not worried about what you're saying out your mouth. I'm worried about who you are, what you're projecting. Like, everything about you.
Hey, look. Hey, Nikki, we got to get you in the studio. We got to get you in the studio. We got to have a session on this particular topic, because I see, and we don't even really have enough time for me to really. I'm not gonna speak it on the air anyway. I'm gonna call you, but we need to talk anyway, girl. When you gonna do Angels, man? Since I got you on the phone, huh? Yeah, I got you on the phone now. You got when you gonna do the Angels track for me?
And we ain't talking about no tracks yesterday, Nick. We were supposed to.
Come on now.
I don't know.
You better use that gift that you got. You know it's a gift, nigga.
I need that voice, Joe. I need your voice. If I don't get you, I'm gonna have to go somewhere else, and I don't know if I'm supposed to go somewhere else.
We not. Nikki, this is your part to play, and you know it. I know you know it.
Yeah.
It's your part to play.
Now, if you know it, then come on now.
It's been that way since you did Wilderness, since you shared that original 3.3 part testimony. It's been since then. I've known. We know you can sing since DuPont, but how the gift is being used now, we know it's specifically for this. We know it.
Absolutely. I'm definitely going to do Angel.
Which Sunday can you get up in here?
This Sunday after next.
Sunday after next.
Oh, man.
So not this Sunday.
Be in Colorado with family reunion that Sunday. Bring her in anyway. Bring her in.
Sunday after next. Yeah, can't
I'll
let you
call
get away.
in.
Yeah, can't let you get away. Sunday after next. That's stamped,
Sunday after next, yeah.
What date is that?
That's like the 2nd or 3rd of August.
Sunday after next?
Yeah, this is the first week in August.
The 4th of August.
4th of August. 28th is next week. 4th of August, we're going to have this conversation. Because I got some questions I want to ask you as far as...
I'm going to call in.
Where you're concluding. But I don't want to... We ain't got but 5.
You already know how I feel about stuff.
I know, but the listeners don't know. The listeners don't know, and I don't want to leave them hanging because we only got 5 more minutes. You see what I'm saying?
I'm marching my own drum, and you already know. Like, you already know.
I know.
Some of my things do go against, like, if you would say maybe doctrine and things like that.
Yeah, we know that.
I'm trusting God, like, totally, and it don't always look like what the church wanted to look like. But I don't live for them. I don't live for people. I don't live for my mama. I don't live for none of that. I truly live for God.
That's what I'm saying. Truly. And I'm aware of this, but I want the listeners, because, we on the air.
They need to hear that. They need to hear that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You ain't just talking to me and Brad. You talking to the people that's listening to this broadcast.
Hey, y'all. Hi, y'all.
You better.
I want them to know what I know about.
That's why you gotta come in.
That's why you got to come in, because like I said, we got 5 minutes before our show is up, so I didn't want you to be right on the edge of something deep, and then boom, that's it. So that's why I kind of stopped you. I wasn't trying to be rude. I know where you at, and I know where you at.
Oh, let me put in this plug. Y'all can go and check out some of my videos on Much Ado About Nikki on YouTube. So I got some videos on YouTube, Much Ado, A-D-U, about Nikki, N-I-K-K-I. All right, yeah.
You got to pray.
Why I got to pray?
Because you called in. That's the rule. Whenever you call in,
that's the rule. Okay. We praying now?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, come Lord Jesus. I can hear Orlando in my ears. That's not his name. But Father God, I'm just coming to you, and I'm thanking you, and I'm praising you just for just for showing me more of you, more of who you are, and that you're not in a box, and that you are everything. You are life itself. You are love itself. And I just thank you for the opportunity and the platform that my brothers have to share your ministry and just to share with people, to bring them towards you. And I know that we're all lights and we're all torches and we're all shining in your direction, Father God. And I'm thankful that you are just unique to us, and that you love us so much. And I pray that we continue to move in your spirit and to move in the destiny that you have for us. And, Lord, just open anybody's eyes and anybody's heart who's searching for answers, who's searching for you, who needs to know more of you. And it may not look like what, they perceive it to look like, but, Lord, help them to guide them towards you and to find you. And I thank you for everybody that's tuned in. And, Lord, continue to be with my brothers and be in support of their ministry. And I thank you and I praise you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
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 All right, sis.
All right.
Appreciate it.
We gonna wrap.
All right.
All right. Hey,
Bye-bye.
quick testimony before we get off the air, because I ain't been here. I want to thank y'all for y'all prayers. And it was asked that you all pray Jeanette. She went and got an MRI. Remember I told you they found a couple aneurysms?
Yeah,
Her
yeah,
brain said
yeah.
she had a procedure like a week ago, week some change. They went in through an artery to take some pictures.
Uh-huh.
Aneurysm was gone. So, yeah, the Most High went on ahead and did his surgical thing and just removed them. That's what I asked him to do. Just go ahead, take them joints up out of there, get them out the way.
Man.
So, yeah, never doubted. I'm talking about, you said they was there. They were in her head, and now they not. So, there's nothing too big.
Man.
Hey,
Won't the Most High do it?
that's real.
Hey.
That's real. That happened. Her testimony, I told her, but yeah, I'm appreciative of the prayers that went up.
Yes.
On that, for that, you know what I'm saying, on her behalf, for that situation right there. Just so you know, the Most High took care of it. So, hey, all praise to the Most High.
Whew, man, this has been a Real Talk 101 on a Sunday. From a brief bit of a hiatus. Pray for this doggone weather and this heat when we get up out of here that we don't pass out and die like we were in the wilderness and we ain't grumbling. May y'all bless and keep you through the rest of the week, and we'll be with you next time, next Sunday, 6 to 8 p.m.
Seek truth.
Ezekiel 33 and 8 through 9. When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die. If thou dost not speak to one the wicked from his way, that wicked man shall die in his iniquity. But his blood will I require at thine hand. 9. Nevertheless, if thou warn the wicked of his way to turn from it, if he do not turn from his way, he shall die in his iniquity. But thou hast delivered thy soul.
The world is in the coma, deep in spiritual sleep. Jacob's trouble winks at all of his curious sheep. We being led to our slaughter, see our blood in the streets. Hear mothers crying out or drying tears in the sheets. It's not a complicated concept. Together we rising. Agents against the nation, infiltrating divide. Time's getting shorter. New world order is down. Let's be prepared to hit the wilderness when boots hit the ground. Cause they ain't checking for your doctrine, you can't, or who you with. Scratch the itch where they implanted your chip. I'm peeping secrets now revealed, too prophetic in nature. Wish I could tell you all is well, instead of warning the danger. Heed the message from the prophet, so knock it, it's not a joke. Think it's a game if it's somebody you know, just got smoke. Hey, here's your warning today. Martial law and Armageddon, and it's headed our way.
Now as I think about the coming Legasha, I get excited. And the glory of the kingdom to come, it keeps me right. I'm a prophet in this day and age, warning my people. In the world that's corrupt and imbalanced, no way we equal. Now here's the sequel to the days of Noah. The world is so cold, but it's about to get colder. Some may ask how you know. I tell them it was written. Read that book of Isaiah on what's to come and get with it. Get with what? Man, it's true because we headed to